yourselves for Audio SmackDown, because we are ready. Delzinski SmackTalks present We Talk.
Yo, alright guys, Delzinski here, and welcome to a We Talk special. And as always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, SmackTalks. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, mate. It's been a long time since we've done one of these.
It is. It has felt like forever. And we have had quite a lot of people asking, where is We Talk? And it's back. It's back for a WrestleMania 33 special. So are you hyped for this?
Hype for We Talk or hype for WrestleMania? Or both?
Both.
I'm feeling that hype. The hype's there. We Talk and WrestleMania, perfect combination.
I have to admit, I'm quite looking forward to WrestleMania. Now I've seen the stadium and the layout where it's like a theme park. I think that looks pretty cool. It feels like that they put quite a lot of effort into WrestleMania this year with that stadium.
They really have. They've gone for it this time. Like, we've wondered where the pay-per-view budget's gone for these stages. They've been saving up for this WrestleMania. Like, where did this come from? I want to go ride it.
Someone actually tweeted that. Someone actually put that out as a tweet. Is that the scaffolding going to be rideable? I don't think so.
When I've seen it, and knowing Shane McMahon has a match, I'm just sure. I know it's supposed to be a regular wrestling match, but there's got to be a point where Shane does something with that scaffolding. I'm sure him and AJ is going to ride this roller coaster at some part of the arena and continue this like fight over there.
Well, that was what someone else tweeted as well about, because there's the ring and then there's a ring on top of it, isn't there, as well?
There's quite a big ring on top of it by the looks of it.
So somebody, I think it was actually Serblade put this out. He tweeted and said, "Why is there a ring on top of the ring?" And someone just wrote two words: Shane McMahon. And I can't quite see it happening. I can't quite see it.
That's a bit extreme, that is. You might as well just have the Andrea match up there. Just throw them over the top rope and down to the floor.
Yeah, I don't see it, but nevertheless, that would be pretty amazing. That would be a WrestleMania moment.
Maybe in that Attitude Era.
So the reason why we're doing a We Talk special today is to talk about WrestleMania 33. And we're going to go through the match card and give you our predictions as such, and kind of go through the matches that we think are going to be exciting. We've got to be honest. We have to be honest. Not all the matches. Yeah, not all the matches we've really analysed with a huge amount of detail. You know, the We Talk way. We've kind of had to
skip a few.
Yeah.
There's one or two that's just It's not quite what we're looking for, is it?
No. So we're going to go through the card and we're going to give you what we think, and also breaking news, unless anybody has broke it before us, which they have.
Big news.
They have big news. 7 foot tall, 450 pound news.
Massive news.
Massive news. It is the fact that the Big Show, and I think this is confirmed now, will be retiring after WrestleMania 33.
It's about time, to be fair, isn't it?
Oh, come on. The Big Show is a legend. I've met him. I've shook his big hand.
Hey, I didn't say he wasn't, but it is about time now. He's not even on TV much. WrestleMania comes around, him and Mark Henry, unless it's a Royal Rumble or some kind of Battle Royal, they're never on TV.
That's a bit disappointing for him, to be honest, isn't it? Because he was supposed to have... Was it supposed to be a match with... Is it Shaquille O'Neal?
It was. That would have been like a big send-off for him. But now that he's in this, do you think he wins it?
Well, he's never won one, has he? Has he won one?
He won the first one, didn't he?
He won the first one. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but then I don't know. I think he was actually pinning all his hopes for that Shaquille O'Neal match, because he got himself in the shape that he did training for that match. And then I don't know what happened, but basically it's not going to happen. And so he's in the Battle Royal. Yeah, he probably should win it as a nice way to send him off, if I'm being honest with you.
So would you put Big Show over Braun Strowman, that they've been building up all this time, and I would have said is the surefire guy to win it?
Yeah, that's a really good point. What to do?
If he wins, what's he going to do with the trophy? Take it with him?
Nothing happens with that trophy anyway, so it doesn't matter what they do with
It gets broke like the night after. I want to say broken up.
I mean, it's not like it really elevates anybody. Corbin didn't really get, a big step forward. Cesaro, he had it as well, didn't he? And he didn't get very far with it. So, it's not exactly a leap to the top. It doesn't make you grab that brass ring, as they used to say. But now you say that, Strowman has to win, doesn't he? The year that he's had and where he's basically left on this card, because, you think that he's been pushed so hard on Monday Night Raw, to have him in the Battle Royal, and the Battle Royal is on the pre-show as well, is not exactly where you'd expect a Braun Strowman to be. Yeah,
it's not, is it? Just to correct myself, it was Big Show won the second one, so Cesaro won the first one.
Well done. That's a lot of research this week.
It is. Well, I figured I'd put the effort in.
No,
but no, like you say, with it being on the pre-show, it kind of it still devalues it a bit. Maybe it'll switch it around, because this is only Wikipedia, unless it's being confirmed now that it's on the pre-show.
Well, that is.
I know the cruiserweight is definitely pre-show.
That is something that has actually been a problem with this year's WrestleMania, hasn't it? The way that all of a sudden one thing's on the pre-show, then it's not. Then everybody starts tweeting about it. Hashtag, what was it? Something like "Save the SmackDown Women," or I don't know, some massive hashtag.
Give the SmackDown Women a chance.
Yeah, and then that's magically disappeared from the pre-show. So yeah, it could all change, but at the moment, from our point of view and what we're thinking, it is on the pre-show. So it will probably come down to Big Show and Strowman, and the expectation is, now you say it, Strowman goes over.
Ooh.
Not the top rope. Top rope. He wins it.
See, I was set on Strowman, but now that I know Big Show's retiring, maybe two-time winner of that match is something to go out on.
I'd quite like to see Big Show win it, to be honest with you, because I've met the Big Show. He's a sound guy, and he's worked bloody hard to get in the shape that he's in. And I really think that, that's not discrediting anyone else for working hard, but I just think because he's announced his retirement, it's a nice way to send him off.
No, it is. I seen him post a selfie today of his abs, the biggest abs I've ever seen. He's well, in shape at the minute.
I mean, when I didn't meet him that long ago, and he wasn't in the greatest of shape when I met him, and it's just to see that transformation that he's gone through to this point. I mean, that's unbelievable. That is truly unbelievable. You hit credit where credit is due, Big Show. That is a big change.
It's kind of a shame, though, that he's put all that effort in and he hasn't got that big match, and now he's just got this second-rate match, I would say.
Yeah, but he's looked a bit better on TV, hasn't he? I mean, he's not the laughable Big Show. He's been standing up to people and knocking them out if he can, and he's been aggressive, but he hasn't been overly aggressive. So it's not like a heel type Big Show. It's just a decently booked Big Show, which is nice for once.
It is. It's just a shame that maybe he didn't announce this to come down the line, and then he could have worked towards this and given one little final run. It seems like it's just suddenly happened now, 2 days away from Mania.
Yeah. I mean, and if it had been announced a little bit earlier, then maybe they could have done something better with him and Strowman, because they've always kind of crossed their paths, but it hasn't really lit it up. It hasn't been as exciting as it potentially should be with the size of those two competitors. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go, because I'm going to make the prediction, and I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go with Strowman, because you mentioned it.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Big Show. I'm going to go Strowman as well on this one.
Because at the end of the day...
It'd be nice to give him it, but...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we've got to think, does WWE always do the right thing? Do they always do the nice thing? Not normally. So storyline, for me, Strowman should win. But then again, as well, just to note with the Big Show, if the WWE had been smart with the Big Show, they could have done what potentially I have done on Universe Mode, and have the Big Show Open Challenge, because it's
Saturday night's main event. How's that going?
not that one, the new one. Got the new one.
Of course,
that's how long it is. See, that's how long it's been. But
it's been ages, so long.
Exactly, so long, and so they could have done the Big Show Open Challenge. He's knocking people out. He's knocking out created superstars left, right, and centre. You could be next out there. You could be next. You could be next.
Have I been drafted?
You might. No, you don't get drafted normally. You just get knocked out. But right. Anyway, so we have covered. We kind of have covered the Battle Royal and the pre-show, and we're both going Braun Strowman, so we are in agreement. Now, this next match is a match that I actually think could be up there with stealing the show, because it has one superstar who you're going to love because he's from your part. Yeah, exactly. Cheryl Cole,
Did I sound like Cheryl Cole?
But one of them is from your manor, and then also we have the greatest man that ever lived in Austin Aries, one of my favourite wrestlers. So with that being the case, Neville versus...
Hey, address him by his proper name. He's the king of the cruiserweights.
Oh, sorry. You sound exactly like him there as well.
Huh?
The king of the cruiserweights, Neville, and Austin Aries. And it's for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I've kind of, to be honest with you, I felt that the Cruiserweights has been lacking until Neville got that belt. And I think he's a good champion, but he's kind of lacked a good challenger. And I'm not the biggest fan of TJ Perkins. I don't know why. I'm just not. But I think that now someone like Aries, and the way they've built to this match, with the fact that Aries, was injured on the sideline, so he was doing commentary for the Cruiserweights. But I think everybody holds Austin Aries in a high regard, so the fans respect him and know what he's done outside of the WWE. So now he's got the crack at the Cruiserweight Championship, and they've built up Neville very well to hold that Cruiserweight Championship. It's got a good build, and I think it could be an exceptional match because they are two exceptional athletes.
Yeah, I think these two are going to bring out the best in each other. I think, like you said, Neville kind of... He'd elevated the Cruiserweight division by himself when he returned. He was kind of like the big star that they were missing from it, because he had a lot of good names in there, but you didn't have that big, recognisable WWE name. So I think Neville really brought that to the table. And Aries, because it's been such a slow burn, and he's been on Raw, and everyone sort of got to know him when they haven't watched NXT or TNA, they all know who he is now. They all know what he can do. And they've had to wait to see him in action. So it's all kind of built up to this match. I think they're really going to tear the house down. This could be the match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And again, I would say that the controversy around the pre-show is kind of disappointing for me, because I have a feeling that stadium won't be packed at that point. Because if you remember when we went to WrestleMania last year, I don't think the stadium was very full during the pre-show. And this is the sort of match that deserves everybody looking down on it and seeing it and appreciating it, because Aries is quality and Neville is quality as well.
Yeah, well, poor Ryback quit, didn't he? Because he got the pre-show. No one was there to see him. Poor guy. But no, Aries tweeted out saying that it might be a pre-show, but it's nothing to be laughed at. And they put Aries on the card to elevate something. So I think that's exactly what him and Neville's going to do.
Yeah, that was a really good tweet from Austin Aries to say, he doesn't see it as being put down. He sees it as a way to elevate. I thought that was a great response. And I think it will. I think it will 100% elevate the pre-show, and it could steal the show. I honestly believe that, because they've done well with Austin Aries. The fact that you don't quite know what he's going to do with his finish as well, because I think he's got the discus forearm, and then he's also got the last chancery, and that is meant to be, they were trying to play that off, that's a counter to, what's Neville's submission finishing maneuver?
The Rings of Saturn?
Yeah. So that's what they're trying to almost play off, that was one-upping Neville's finisher as well. And I thought that was quite good. So, they can go aerial, they can be on the mat. These two can do anything and everything, and that's what I think is great. Oh, I was trying almost started cutting the AJ Styles promo there. You take it to the sky, I take it to the sky. You take it to the mat, I take it to the mat.
You're getting hyped for Mania now, aren't you?
I am. I'm getting excited because We Talk.
That's what We Talk does.
Exactly. So I am going to make a prediction, and I know that this prediction is going to be the complete opposite to you, but I am going for an Austin Aries victory, and we will crown a new Cruiserweight champion, the greatest man that ever lived, A-Double.
It's going to dethrone the King.
He is going to slay the King. Oh, and now I'm referring to another match. Oh,
slay the King?
Damn it.
Not very PG.
No. I was stealing Seth Rollins' lines, but what are you going
keep
for?
Keep that one for a little bit later.
Yeah,
you can use it again. Write it down.
I am. Just quickly scribbling it down.
Now, honestly, I would say I'm inclined to agree with you on this.
Oh,
but
really?
because it's Neville, it's me home boy, I'm going to go with the King.
Way aye, pet.
Way aye? Sorted.
So you're going with Neville. So that we disagree on this match.
Well, I have to. I kind of side against him.
Okay. Well, I regardless of what we think, we're both in agreement that that is going to be a top quality match.
Absolutely. Match of the night. Now,
moving on, because we're doing this in the order of the matches that are listed on Wiki. So we're not really. Maybe we shouldn't, because I just noticed what the last one is. To be honest with you.
Hey, give the SmackDown women a chance. Hashtag that.
Maybe we shouldn't go in that order. Let's not go with that next one. Let's jump. Let's jump. To that
we could swip to the bottom and then go up from there.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, so let's talk about that women's match, because obviously that was on the agenda next anyway. That was all planned, exactly what we said here. So Alexa Bliss, the champion, versus Becky Lynch, versus Natalya, versus Mickie James, versus Carmella, with your boy, James Ellsworth. Yes, Jay.
Is he still there?
Your boy, yeah. Your boy. What up? You gotta love
Jimmy.
James. You gotta love James Ellsworth. He makes it glow more than the last participant, Naomi.
Really?
He does. I literally love your boy, James Ellsworth.
Do you?
Hashtag
More than Carmella?
Your boy. Yeah. That's how much I love him. I love him. No chins about it.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Ellsworth. I liked him originally, but since he's been stuck with Carmella, I'm not as fussed.
Come on. Everybody loves a bit of Ellsworth.
I don't believe that she loves him. I feel sorry for the guy. I think he's being used.
Oh, come on. I really don't think he gives a monkeys that he's being used. He loves it. He loves it. He loves being the little whipping boy.
I don't know.
Nothing will ever... Whether you like
I think
him,
he's looking for true love and he's looking in the wrong place.
Whether you like him or you dislike him, you'll never ever forget the moment that he hit No Chin Music on AJ Styles and nearly won the championship. That's still one of the greatest moments. JBL sold that commentary like $1 million. It was brilliant. No Chin Music from I think it was Otunga who actually.
I'm sure Otunga come up with it. It's like the best thing he's ever done in his entire career.
So that was brilliant. That was such a great moment. But anyway, let's talk about the match and what we think. Again, this one has had a lot of publicity because everybody thinks it's going to be on the pre-show. Now it's been technically not. It's moved from what I understand today. So I have
before you get into this, can I just point out,
yes.
Wikipedia, this stipulation is a 6-pack challenge, but it's not, is it? It's every available woman on the SmackDown roster. So
that means, well, is that yeah, but that's not every. Oh no.
What about your favourite though?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Isn't
Red-headed person.
That's what's going to happen. Yes, it's the time.
We've been waiting all this time. We Talk was still going the last time she made an appearance.
They have nailed it, haven't they? I know you don't like her, but from a storyline perspective, if you think about it, how and to get someone who's already got enough heel heat, but to get them even more heel heat, how perfect is that? let's say they all knock each other out. They're all laying on the mat, and then you hear that Eva Marie music, and you have the build that she gets. She comes out, she hooks the leg, 1, 2, 3. I mean,
it's got to happen now, isn't it?
That is kind of a WrestleMania way, isn't it? That's the sort of booking that they go for.
They've kept all quiet.
Yeah.
No one's cottoned on to this. And then We Talk comes back, we nail it, don't we?
This is a We Talk exclusive. We are putting it out there right now. Eva Marie to become the SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
See, all these people saying Asuka's going to debut. She's going to win the Women's Championship. It's not. It's going to be Eva Marie. It's got to be.
Exactly. What's Asuka talk? None of that. No. Ask Asuka who's going to win, and she's going to tell you the same as us because she listens to We Talk.
She does?
She does.
Well, she used to.
We got a translator, didn't we? I'm not even going to.
She speaks English now, doesn't she?
Oh, she might do. I won't even bother doing any sort of accents this week.
Yeah, don't be racist.
No, none of that. Anyway, if not, because let's have a look at the participants that we've got. Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalia, Mickie James, and Carmella.
And Naomi.
And Naomi. See, I got to your boy, and again I started going off. I started thinking about other things. But if we're going to go with them, I'd probably say Naomi because it's in her hometown, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of my pick on this. Mainly because of the place that it's at and the fact that she dropped the title to injury. So it gives them a chance to let her pick it back up and then go with whatever route they were going with. Only thing I would say is I kind of wish they kept our return until actual WrestleMania. I don't see why they need to do it on SmackDown Live.
But the Hurricane Rana was so damn good.
It was amazing, to be fair.
It was unbelievable, that Hurricane Rana. I think the one thing is what we've just mentioned about Eva Marie. To me, feels like that could happen, and it could happen to Naomi. So Naomi has just pulled off maybe one of her finishing maneuvers, but she's hurt and she's on the mat, and then that's when cue the music, and then she gets the pin. She pins Naomi because that to me seems like that could be a feud that they could go off of. So yeah, I don't think Alexa Bliss will get pinned to lose her championship.
Yeah, I would go with someone else getting pinned for this. It all depends how it works because I don't think they've sort of said exactly how it's going to work. I don't know if it's elimination, 1 pin 4. Any idea?
Me? No. No. I'm not really sure how this is going to... I thought...
I would have said go slobber knocker, have them like come in one by one, whoever's left.
Oh, really?
Then you can have Naomi... Well, I would prefer that. I don't know that's going to be how it is. But if you'd done that, you could have Naomi then thinking she's a champ, and then obviously Eva Marie comes out.
Yeah, but then she's got to do some moves.
Well, she's got one she can do.
So that's what I mean. She's got to perform some if it goes in that order. But oh well. I mean, I think we've put out there some good scenarios for this match.
We'll put out one scenario.
We'll put out 2. Naomi could win.
Yeah. Which would you prefer, though?
I think I'd rather like to see the Eva Marie one, just to hear
I would quite like to see that.
Yeah, just because you know that Florida crowd's going to boo and boo and boo. But they'd be booing for a good reason because that's good booking from WWE. It's not booing because... to me, that would make perfect sense. So it'd be a good way to do it. And it would make sense because of the whole thing where she hasn't been on TV for months. So... what better way to bring her back than, at the Ultimate Thrill Ride? Woohoo! Did you like that?
Yes.
I thought you did. I thought you went there a little bit. It's a good one. Right. Anyway, so prediction. We're going with. He's lost it. Well, the prediction
that we're. Voice. That's why.
The prediction that we're going for. Well, I'm going for Eva Marie.
I'm gonna go. Naomi. I'm going to go with the people that's actually listed so far. Right. So I'm going to go Naomi on this one. Because it's her hometown. I think she'll get the rub of the green.
But it will be good. It will be good when we're live tweeting if that does happen.
I'm looking forward to that now, just to see if it does happen. Because I really wanted to.
Yes, it will be. It will be. Right. So let's move on. Let's swiftly move on, and let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship and Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. And this is one of those matches that we were kind of indicating where we've not really done an awful lot of research on, because well, I'll be honest, I do like Baron Corbin. I haven't really got much interest in the Lunatic Fringe. And I've done a couple of commentaries with a few other YouTubers, and I'll go back to exactly what I said there. Let's be honest, he's not a lunatic. So I lack the reason to really like Dean Ambrose. Because if he's a lunatic is Brian Pillman. And he ain't no Brian Pillman, is he, Mr. Ambrose?
He's not, no. I don't get the whole lunatic label. It hasn't fit him for a long time. He's done a few crazy things. I believe there's like a hot dog stand, something like that, a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. The kind of like they kind of tried to do that for a few weeks, and then it just got ridiculous. And they still stuck with the Lunatic Fringe name, but he didn't really do anything lunatic-y, so. No,
he just made friends with your boy James Ellsworth, and that's definitely not being a lunatic. Everybody would want to be James Ellsworth's friend. So
smart, that is.
Exactly, smart. So I have to say on this match that I just don't see it going any other way. I see a Baron Corbin win, and I think that with the year that Corbin's had, because I would say it's been a very last year as well. It's been very successful for Corbin, because he's made that transition and he's been up there with the top guys, and he's looked at as, I would say, a big danger to the championship picture, to the world championship picture. But then he's been taken aside a bit so they can build other things. But I think that Corbin can easily slot back into the top part of SmackDown Live when they need to be, and he can do it being a really good heel. The only thing I think about with Corbin is that I think he's gaining some fans as well. So it could be one of those that ends ultimately, they want him to be a heel, but he might get cheered for a bit more.
Possibly. I think like SmackDown Live, the brand split, it's been the best thing that could have happened to him. I think he's really he's thrived on SmackDown Live.
It's great.
Where I think if he was still on Raw, I think he'd be nowhere near the sort of level that he's at. Where I think because of what he's done over this past year, winning the Memorial Battle Royal and then carrying on from there, this feud with Ambrose, I think, is the next thing that could take him to the next level, especially if he comes out this with a championship, because then he gets to go on and face other people. He can say him working with people like The Miz, which only further elevates him. So I would say Corbin's destined to win this. I don't know where it leaves Ambrose losing at WrestleMania to Corbin, and especially losing the title, but I would say look towards the future. I think Corbin is kind of the future. As much as I would say that I don't really want to see Corbin in that main event spot, I think he's kind of deserving of it for the year that he's had.
I just think that Corbin comes across when he's in the ring as like really explosive, like the Deep Six and the End of Days are just two epic moves, and it's kind of like, that's what makes him so dangerous, and that's what I really like about it. I think with Ambrose, the best thing that they could do with him is if he drops the belt, then you could really book that lunatic side of him really well after that. Because if he loses, I mean, last year he fought Brock, didn't he? He went up against Lesnar.
Yes.
And it was an awful match. It was an awful match. It was the match that we thought he was...
It was a really quick match as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we all thought he was going to bring lots of things to the ring, because they teased, he was going to have
chainsaw.
And the barbed wire. I think it was the barbed wire 2x4 and all sorts of stuff, all sorts of goodies. And then they didn't do anything. And I don't know whether that was just because Brock didn't want to do it, but it just didn't go to plan. And I think that they could play off of that he really didn't do very well last year at WrestleMania. And then this year he loses to Corbin, and then Corbin can rub it in his face a bit. And if they really wanted to, they could take him down that lunatic route from there, where, a bit like the way they did with Ziggler, they kind of indicate that, it's getting to him. It's getting frustrating because he's kind of struggling and he's a bit lost and he's got nowhere to go. And that could be the perfect time for him to show that he's a proper lunatic and do some crazy things. But
it could be the catalyst to really start that.
but they really need to go like full with him. They need to go all in with him and not.
What would he do though? What would make him a lunatic in your eyes?
Well, I just think he's got to have that mean streak about him a lot more, and cut out the fun and games because he's become a bit of a joker. That's.
Well, he's kind of that comedy. He's like
with the popcorn.
Santino if he was like a main eventer.
That's one of the. I've never ever thought that anybody would compare Dean Ambrose to Santino Marella, but you heard it here first, and you don't quote me on it. Quote SmackTalks on it. He's done it. He's achieved.
I'll be getting called a lunatic for that.
Yeah, you're more of a lunatic than Dean Ambrose. Well played, sir. Well played.
Thank you.
But I mean that to me would be a good starting point to give him that push. And the way, when we talk about being a lunatic, again, it goes back to, if you looked at Brian Pillman, he was always on the edge. It looked like he could go nuts at any second. Even when he was like not cutting a promo, just standing there. It just looked like when he was at the Hart Foundation as well. It was like, you didn't want to. He's a ticking time bomb. He's ready to explode. Ambrose, to me, he's controlled. He's calculated. He's not a lunatic.
No, he's not. He's more chilled at times.
Yeah.
A lunatic wouldn't be in that kind of way.
He's like the David Brent of the wrestling world. He's just a chilled out entertainer. That's what he is.
Santino and David Brent.
All in
what
one
a mix.
Becomes Dean Ambrose. So I am going for a Baron Corbin victory. I'm
going to agree with you on that one.
Wow. So there you go. Corbin to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Now, next up, this has been one of the most entertaining of feuds in terms of a build-up, and I think it's been very good because it's done it so well that you don't really think that John Cena has been relegated as such in the way that they've done it, because it has been a big part of the build for WrestleMania this year, and that is this mixed tag match with John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. I think they've done it so well, and Cena's promos have been so on point. I mean, I know we can all everyone's crediting The Miz and Maurice for doing those little skit videos where they're taking the mickey out of Nikki Bella and John Cena, and John Cena's house rules, which are fantastic. But I just think that Cena has been owning The Miz in the ring with promos, and that is very difficult to do because The Miz is an A-class talker, but Cena has just gone to another level. I love Cena talking smack the way he's been doing it recently. It's too good.
Well, this week especially, I think everyone was sort of waiting for that next installment of total Bella bullshit. It was great, but then when Cena come out and he cut his promo, it was very heel. Well, not so much heel, but old school John Cena. I really liked it. I thought he did an awesome promo. He seems to do that. Working with The Miz has really sort of made him sort of really go for it, really up his game. And I'm sure he is going away to do this film, so I think he is really putting everything into this match. And I think because he's actually working with Nikki, I think it means a lot to the both of them. So it's one of them ones where it's really brought out the best of them because they want to do this justice. And they've done a great job with it, because if you would have said a month ago, it looks like we're going to get mixed tag team match, John Cena and Nikki Bella against Miz and Maurice, then you're like, oh, well, what happened to like Undertaker Cena? Why are we not getting that? Why is Miz not like around this championship picture? I'd have been disappointed with it, but the way it's being built up, I think they've stole the show on SmackDown Live. Easily my favourite part.
It has been really, really good. And I think, like you said, this final week with Cena and everything they said to it's almost like they're supposed to be putting out their hard facts. So they're trying to be truthful with everything that they say. But it's just the way it's delivered, and it's quite harsh, and it's cutting, and it's to the point. And when you look at The Miz, it's like he knows that Cena's speaking the truth, but he doesn't really want to admit that he's speaking the truth. And going into WrestleMania, it's almost like, Cena's belittled The Miz, saying that, he is not going to beat John Cena, and they're not going to beat them as a couple because Cena knows that he's going to be able to punch him in the face. and Cena knows that he's going to be able to beat him because he's done it before. And I think that's I like all of that. I like all of that. It would be such a nice surprise though for me if The Miz and Maurice won this match.
It'd be a big surprise to me if they won it, because I definitely
good.
see Cena and Nikki winning this. What I will say is, I definitely see the way this is being booked, Cena and Nikki's going to win it, and then he's going to propose to her in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, but how does that go down with the fans? That's the... I don't
think they'll care, to be honest. I think John Cena and Nikki will just eat it up, whatever reaction they get.
I mean, this is the only bit that I haven't been that keen on, is the over embrace between the two. Sometimes it's a bit of over the top. Like, I think Miz and Maurice have been quite, reserved.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the celebrations of getting one up on them has been like, all right, wow. So God knows what it'll be like if he actually does get down on one knee and proposes.
Well, she says no. Turns him down after all this.
I don't think so. I certainly don't think so.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
Unless
someone holds up the wrong cue card.
Unless the ultimate heel moment comes and we hear Dolph Ziggler come out. You know what Ziggler's like.
Ooh.
I mean, that would be amazing for Dolph Ziggler. Is he even on the card? He's not, is he? Battle Royal.
Now you say that, he's not on the card, is he? Unless he's in the Battle Royal, he probably is.
So then it would be the best moment for Ziggler, and a way to put John Cena out. He comes out, he's down on one knee, he super kicks Cena, whatever he wants to say to Nikki. And there you go. Takes out John Cena. Ziggler's had his WrestleMania moment.
Stealing the show on your girlfriend, just like his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Was there all along.
Again, you heard it here first. More phenomenal booking on We Talk.
It is. We're going to have to go on to Dave Meltzer, pass these on for his newsletter.
We really are. Or we could always give Bruce Pritchard a call.
Get him on the phone.
Have you ever seen Bruce Pritchard in these Impact Wrestling meetings? Oh, they're so weird.
I haven't, unfortunately.
They're totally awkward. Totally awkward. Sorry, bad word. Impact Wrestling is getting better. They're doing good deals, doing good business, but some of these real life behind the scenes backstage meetings that they have are a little bit cringy.
How do you know about these backstage meetings? Have you been there?
I'd like to be there, but no, they put them on their Facebook page.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. There was one with Alberto Del Rio on there, and he was he had to give back the belt, and it was just very awkward. Dutch Mantel's in there, and who else is in there? Also, sometimes who's the commentator, the really mouthy one?
Josh Matthews.
Yes, he's in there. He's in there all the time. Yeah. Check them out. Go check them out. A little bit of Impact this week. That's as far as we're going to go with that. But back to WrestleMania. Back to the big show that's in Florida. Let's get back to it. So, prediction.
It's
going to be Cena, isn't it?
I think it's got to be Cena, to be honest. I definitely see it being what I just mentioned. Cena and Nikki to win it, and then the proposal.
Yeah. I would agree. I'd like to see a Miz Maurice WrestleMania victory. I think because of the way that he got so belittled in that last SmackDown Live, verbal exchange, I thought it might be nice to do that. But I think you're right. I think that's what's going to happen, and we never know. Hopefully, this show off will steal the show.
Let's see.
So let's move on and let's talk about the Universal Championship. No, let's not. Damn.
No?
That was
what
bad.
Can we move on to?
That was bad. Well, no, we could. It's up to you. Do you know what? For a moment there, for a split second there, I was thinking that Kevin Owens was still the Universal Champion.
Oh, is that where you're going? I thought you were just jumping around this card because you've already missed out a tag team match.
Oh, I have, haven't I? Yes. Should we cover that first then?
Let's go for it. Let's give them credit.
I don't know how I skipped that one as well. Right, let's talk about it. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, the champions, and I'm glad they are the champions. I think they've deserved it. Versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And what a shiner Sheamus got on Raw. Goodness
It's a lot of stitches, wasn't it?
Yes, nasty cut that was. And then obviously that has led to this being a ladder match. Where
I knew that. As soon as we got that backstage segment, I was like, this is going to be a ladder match. And I'm so glad they've done it. Because every match on the card is just a standard match.
Well, there's obviously we have to talk about the rumour. And we did mention Impact a minute ago. We have to talk about the potential of the Broken Hardys rocking up at WrestleMania. Now, there's talks that the contract's been signed, it's been done, but then there's people now saying, no, they're staying with Ring of Honor. But we all know that Ring of Honor and WWE have always been quite tight and quite close, so you wouldn't put it past anything happening.
But they're defending the titles against the Bucks of Youth tomorrow night?
Probably.
Saturday night?
Yeah, are they defending their broken titles or the Ring of Honor ones?
I think it's the Ring of Honor ones because it's a Super Card of Honor,
right?
Or Field of Honor, one of those. But if they drop it, then I think there's a definite possibility they may show up at WrestleMania, and because it's a ladder match, it kind of fits the Hardys, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's the thing is are they gonna show up at WrestleMania, or are they gonna be due to show up later on, like the Raw afterwards? I kind of think that it would be cool for them to show up, but I'll be honest with you, I still cannot see Vince liking the broken gimmick. I think that they would be much more viable in doing other stuff with Jeff Hardy, money wise. So I struggle to see that, but...
Well, would they use the broken gimmick? Because there's this lawsuit going on at the minute, isn't there?
Well, they have to, won't they? There's no way that... There is 100% no way that Matt Hardy is going to go to WWE unless he's using that broken gimmick. Even with the lawsuit, I'm pretty sure WWE could easily sweep that one under the carpet. But I honestly don't see it, because I think that Matt... they've just created those belts. There's so much in this broken gimmick for him, and that's why I say that that's where I struggle to see WWE wanting to take that, because yes, okay, financially it's probably a big deal, the whole broken thing. You've just mentioned the lawsuit, but I always see that they would sway more towards Jeff because they know exactly where the money is with Jeff. But yes, if we're going to pick a night for them to show up and a match to do it, a ladder match would make the perfect sense. How they do it, God knows. Maybe it needs some broken brilliance.
It definitely needs some broken brilliance. I would love to see it on WWE. I just hope they don't try and take control of it. I hope they leave Matt with some creative control, because I would love to see them stick with the Hardy compound stuff, things like that. None of this trying to do it the WWE way, like we got with the Wyatts.
Yeah.
And it just felt really arty and I don't know, a bit too clean. It didn't feel like the way the Hardys were doing it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I wouldn't imagine that they'll do the whole family stuff. I don't see them wanting to sign someone like Rebby. I only see them wanting to sign Matt and Jeff.
Well, I think the way Rebby acts, especially on Twitter,
yeah,
she'll come out with anything.
Crazy,
I don't think that's
crazy.
the kind of person WWE will be signing.
It's very difficult because, like you say, with the lawsuit, you don't know how that will, sorry for the pun, but impact things. But it could do. But I would like to see that happen. But I mean, if we remove them from the situation and we go back to the participants, and we got Gallows and Anderson, who are the champions, Enzo, Big Cass, and Cesaro and Sheamus. I would like to honestly see Gallows and Anderson retain, but I feel that it's the night of Enzo and Cass, and I just don't feel Enzo and Cass anymore.
Really? You used to be big on Enzo and Cass?
Yeah, but not Not since they moved up. It's all
You've
gone.
gone soft on them.
I have. Literally, it's just not. Yeah, I just don't buy the gimmicks anymore. There's nothing to it. It bores me. They come out and they talk too long. I'm not. The couple of haters things, all right. Couple of haters, that's all right. But the other things that they say and stuff, it doesn't excite me very much. I'd rather have Gallows and Anderson who are supposed to be classed as world renowned tag team champs. So let's stick with that.
I would prefer to stick with them, especially with Finn coming back, because they could do the whole club dominating thing. Where I think if you give it back to Enzo and Cass, it's just where do you go from there? They're only going to have the rematches again. I don't see Cesaro and Sheamus sticking around it. Although I'm a big fan of them. I think they've been a really impressive tag team. But overall, I'd prefer it to be Gallows and Anderson staying with the titles.
Cesaro and Sheamus are a really good tag team. They're no nonsense. They're a great tag team together. But again, it's something missing with that. So I just fall back to Gallows and Anderson and just would rather see them retain.
No, I totally agree with you on that.
And then maybe they pick it up with the Broken Hardys if they do rock up. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Gallows and Anderson.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Gallows and Anderson as well.
Cool. Well, let's move on and let's not talk about the Universal yet. Let's talk about the United States Championship. Chris Jericho, the man that likes to drink it in, man, against KO Mania to Kevin Owens.
I think that's going to be another match that's worthy of stealing the show.
It should be, because the way that they've built it, again, it's had a long build, this one, and I also think that they will have worked out some really unique spots, and they know each other very well, so it should be very easy for them to piece together their match. So I think it's had a good build, so you've got that heat between the two, because, let's be honest, the whole best friends situation that combusted was done very well. And the way that they broke it up in the end, you really felt for Jericho. So you really want Jericho to get his revenge, but I don't think he will, because I think that I've heard that Jericho's leaving after WrestleMania, so he's going to go do some Fozzy stuff, I think. Now, that might not happen, but then it would make sense, because it would close that feud and have Kevin Owens leave with the United States Championship, and where Owens may have nowhere to go, then he has a belt with him. So I think it then gives him opportunities to move on to other things, and obviously if Jericho goes away.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
That does make sense now you say that. It's a shame though, because this run that Jericho's on, I would prefer to see him get pushed from this and get another title run. But as long as we've got Goldberg or Brock as a champion, I don't really see the point in him getting squashed.
I'm still incredibly disappointed in the way that they put Owens with Lesnar at points in house shows, and so he did have an interaction with him on a Raw, I think, and he squashed him on that as well. Because to me, Owens face to face with Lesnar could have been really, really good. They just didn't do it right, and I feel that now you can't go back on that. You can't go back and now make out that Owens can stand up to a Brock Lesnar. It just doesn't work very well for me. But I mean, you've got a Samoa Joe there now, so that could work. But I think that this could be a good night for the stable as well, where we've got this tease stable of Triple H, Kevin Owens, and Joe. And if Owens picks up the United States Championship, I would imagine that Joe's going to have some involvement. I'm looking at this card. I don't see anywhere on this card Sami Zayn and Joe.
Are they in the Battle Royal?
That's disappointing.
Sami Zayn's in it. Samoa Joe isn't listed.
So Joe's going to play a part. So you could see him playing a part in this match or the Triple H match. He's going to be there. He's going to be doing something.
Yeah, he'll be in one of them.
So for me, very excited about Jericho Owens. I think it'll be a solid match, and that's something that I really, really look forward to at WrestleMania, are good matches, because sometimes the hype overshadows the matches. But this one will be a good one. And I'm going for a KO victory at KO Mania.
Ooh. I would have gone Jericho, because you've said you may be going away. That's kind of thrown us now. I'm tempted to go with Kevin Owens.
Well, I'm not sure if that's 100% confirmed, but that's what I've heard, that he's going away after. So...
this is a hard one. Yeah, I'm going to go Kevin Owens.
You sounded like a willy? A really?
You call me Dick.
No, you sounded really like a weak Roman Reigns a minute ago. You went, ooh, but okay, so you're going. Who are you going with?
I think I'm going to have to go for KO Mania on this one.
KO Mania. Excellent. So we're agreed on this one. So let's move on to the Women's Championship match from Raw. And Bayley, the champion, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Nia... Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. And this is a fatal four-way. And this is... What I found interesting about all of this was they were happy to bump the SmackDown Live women's match, but this one would never be questioned to be bumped, which I think is very disappointing, because I honestly feel like Alexa Bliss has been a really good champion over on SmackDown Live, and then I look at Bayley's reign. It's not exactly been amazing. It's been a short-lived one, and then I look at that women's division on Raw, and I personally don't think much of it, bar Charlotte.
To be honest, it's because it's been the whole Charlotte and Sasha thing for so long. And now you've got Bayley in there as well. And it just hasn't lived up to it, has it? Like, Bayley is a champion. I loved her in NXT. And our promos seem so forced on Raw. And I'm sure it's because NXT's writers sort of let them have a little bit leeway, so she can kind of do her own thing a little bit. Whereas Raw, it's like she's sticking so hard to these promos, like they really have to. Where Charlotte, she seems to get away with like so much more. Bayley, it just seems really forced, and it's kind of like made us tune out a little bit.
Yeah, well, I never really understood why they made Charlotte drop the belt, or why she lost her pay-per-view streak. Because to me, that the best place to do that would have been WrestleMania. They had a really good payoff. It was a huge payoff. At WrestleMania, she loses her pay-per-view streak. Instead, They did it before, and I just didn't get it. I said there was bigger fish to fry, and it was at WrestleMania that they could have done that. So I'm very disappointed in the way that they've booked this going in, and it feels messy, and it feels more messy with the whole. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's becoming now that Sasha is very much gonna turn heel on Bayley. I mean, it's a given. And it doesn't feel great. I'm quite looking forward to a heel Sasha Banks, but that's the only thing that I'm really looking forward to. But then again, we are discarding the big game changer here, which could be Nia Jax.
Yeah.
If Nia Jax wins, it'd be very difficult to see how she loses that belt until they bring someone up. And maybe that person is going to be like an Asuka. But to me, it would seem very difficult to get that championship off of Nia Jax. And they've got to be careful, because with Nia Jax, she's supposed to be a monster, but sometimes I don't feel that she is a monster.
It's very hit and miss the way they do it. Like this week on Raw, she seemed to really dominate Bayley. And that was kind of the monster, Nia Jax. Whereas other weeks, we haven't really got that. So it kind of goes back and forth. But in regards to Charlotte and losing this streak, I think that's our fault, to be honest. I think we should take the blame for that. It's just like smarks on the internet, being so smart and knowing what was going to happen and seeing WrestleMania on the cards. Charlotte obviously going to lose there. That's when she's going to lose the streak. And Vince has been like, you know what? I think they're so smart. We're not going to do that. I'm going to have Bayley win early. And I think that's the only reason that they've done it. And I think it's like shot themselves in the foot. Because you should have that huge moment for Bayley at WrestleMania. and because you give her it fast lane, was it?
Yeah. Fast lane.
I don't know. I don't think it's anywhere near what it could have been, and I think because of that, they've kind of changed this up a bit, and it's probably not the match that we're originally going to get. I think they put Nia in there when really I would have preferred her to be kept until after WrestleMania, because then you could have had Bayley win it at Mania and then go up against Nia Jax. If we get the heel Sasha going up against Bayley, I think that's the wrong time to do it, unless you're going to do that all the way to SummerSlam, because that kind of feels like that should lead to a WrestleMania match between Bayley and Sasha, but then we've got another year to get to that.
But that's the problem, isn't it? They seem to have rushed Nia Jax into all of this. They didn't have to. She could have just gone and ticked along nicely, dominating, jobbers and been, on the outskirts looking in, done the dominating of Sasha Banks. Then Sasha's got herself back into the mix in the Women's Championship. Nia Jax is kind of looking in, but they won't let her into it yet because they know once she gets in how dominant she can be. It would have been a much nicer way to have let that unfold, and like you say, maybe have the big payoff where Charlotte loses her undefeated streak at WrestleMania to Bayley, and then maybe Sasha costs her that, which means that Charlotte and Sasha have to cross paths again, and then Nia Jax picks up the pieces after WrestleMania. But instead, it's like they're going to have to give everybody a WrestleMania moment, so they've got to do the Fatal 4-Way, and then in doing that, it really devalues any sort of major or cool storylines that they could have got out of it. And particularly now, the fact that, the undefeated streak of Charlotte at pay-per-views has gone. I mean, that was the biggest selling point for it all.
Well, that's the thing. That was kind of the big point of taking it into Mania and having to lose it there. But because it's gone, I think it's time to move on and give Nia Jax the championship. Otherwise, if you give it to Charlotte, it's exactly the same thing. If you give it to Sasha, she's probably going to lose it on Raw anyway. And if you give it like Bayley retains, she's only going to go up against Nia and then lose it at some point. So I would say do it at WrestleMania, make Nia the champion, just have her unstoppable for the next couple of months.
Can I say on this note, because we're talking about these four, can you name any others? Any other women on the Raw roster?
Alicia Fox is manager of Noam Dar.
Anyone else?
I'm struggling after that.
And that sums it up, doesn't it? That really sums up. I mean, you bump many superstars from the women's side on SmackDown Live. You try and bump them to the pre-show, but then you look at this and you think to yourself, I mean, this doesn't say a lot about it, does it? On the women's side for Raw, it's just four. There's nothing else going on. That proves to me how much better SmackDown Live is, because they're able to get everybody involved, and it's exciting. This is so much the same and the same again.
Well, it's not just the women either. When it comes to SmackDown Live, like, anyone can seemingly do or win anything. That's the best thing about it. Where with Raw, it's obviously been Sasha and Charlotte for such a long time. So it just doesn't have that feeling that SmackDown does, where something different can happen. You kind of just expect the same. And it's obviously going to be one of them three, potentially Nia now.
Well, I'll go with you on this. I do think that it's going to be Sasha, and she's going to beat Bayley, and that's the big heel turn. But I think Nia Jax would be better, because then you have something better to run with, and you can maybe bring up Asuka then, and that she could be the one that topples Nia Jax. But yeah, so let's go with that, because as much I actually really do like Charlotte. I think she's really good, but I think she needs someone else to bounce off a bit more. You can't keep going back to the Bayley storyline or the Sasha feuds. It does get a bit boring.
What I will say though is, with this being WrestleMania and this being kind of the end point, we should seemingly get a draft in the near future, which could hopefully shake things up a bit.
Oh, that's interesting. I never really thought of that. But I kind of don't really want them to draft too much, because then I think SmackDown has a very good roster. I don't really want to see many of them go anywhere.
Well, I think you definitely have to split up Charlotte and Sasha. So one of them have got to go to SmackDown.
I would imagine, I don't know.
I would say Sasha.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, then I do think that she will. Even though I'm saying Nia Jax, I do think that Sasha will pick up the belt, because it's going to be that. It's going to be that whole, I'm not your best friend anymore. See you later. That's what I think's going to happen.
I can definitely see that. They'll turn on each other. Well, Sasha will turn on Bayley, but I don't think it'll lead to one of them being champion. Okay. It might cost them the championship, but I don't think I can't see either of them coming out as the champion.
Well, that could be quite a good finish if they cost each other and then Nia Jax picks up the pieces.
Yeah, I could see that working in that case. Just having Nia blindside them, take advantage.
So you're going Nia Jax then?
Yes, I'm going to go the unstoppable Nia Jax.
Cool. And I'm going to go the same. So, moving on, we're going to talk about a match which, I'll be honest with you, it's a match that I'm looking forward to now, but I really thought that AJ Styles deserved a bit better than what he's getting. And it feels like they've really forgot about AJ Styles going into WrestleMania, and considering that he has been probably the biggest piece of SmackDown Live, and he's been one of the top guys and one of the most over guys. And
face that runs the place.
And the champ that ran the camp as well. I mean, I just feel like the Shane McMahon feud is something that it's going to be quite an exciting match, but I would have rather, to be honest with you, seen AJ Styles in one of the higher profile matches. And yes, okay, Shane's important, but this feels like they didn't have anything for AJ Styles, so they gave him Shane McMahon. And one of my worries about this match is how's Shane McMahon going to do all his high spots? Much like AJ said in his promo, he said, this isn't non-sanctioned. This isn't no DQ. You can't jump off of things. You can't jump off the ring that's above the ring. You can't do all of these things. This is going to be a wrestling match. And if you take it to the air, I'll beat you in the air. If you take it to the mat, I'll beat you on the mat. Whatever he does, he won't be able to compare to AJ Styles. And there is a huge gap between these two because, yes, Shane is a fighter with his baby punches, but that's about it. So, I honestly, my honest opinion is that AJ Styles deserved better going into WrestleMania, but he's got Shane McMahon, and I think it's going to be a good match. But, I don't know. I wasn't best pleased with the way that the chips have fallen for AJ Styles.
No, I completely agree with you. I would say it's kind of comparable to the Charlotte situation, whereby AJ dropped the title too soon. We could have had a big match with John Cena take place at WrestleMania, and that would have been a match that I would love to see, because all the ones apart are more instant classics. So I think that would have slotted right in at WrestleMania. But because of him doing the thing with Nikki and Miz and Maurice, it's like you said, there's nothing really for AJ Styles, so it feels like they've kind of just thrown him into this match with Shane as something for him. But it's a bit weird in how it's come about that it's a regular match, because I can't remember the last time I seen Shane in a regular match. It's probably like Attitude Era against X-Pac or something like that. But every other match that I sort of think of as Shane, it's always some kind of extreme no DQ match where he's jumping off something, like SummerSlam with Steve Blackman, the Hell in a Cell last year. It doesn't feel like a match Shane should be able to kind of compete in. But when you think that he's in there with AJ Styles, I think AJ is the kind of person that could put on a great match with anyone. And I think AJ is going to be the guy that carries this match. And I think it's actually going to be a good match. I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised, because I think Shane can go. And I think someone with like AJ, it's not like last year where it was The Undertaker. And Taker's kind of at the point now in his career where he needs someone to carry him. I think because it's the other way around this time, we've got AJ that's, phenomenal. He can carry Shane. And I think for that reason, it's going to be a great match and people will be surprised.
Yeah, I don't question that it won't be a great match. Any match that AJ Styles is involved in is a great match. I think that the disappointing bit for me is actually the way that they built the match, because they did build it that, you know, AJ Styles smashed Shane McMahon's head through a glass window of a car, and you kind of expected that this would build to a, you know, no holds barred street fight, whatever you want to call it. Definitely not a wrestling match, and it just hasn't really evolved from it. And obviously we had the contract signing, and they signed the deal, and it's just a basic match. I just fear that yes, I think Shane McMahon will fire around the ring quite a bit, and he'll have his trademark punches, but there's not much else to it. I'm a bit worried. If I was AJ Styles, I'd be awfully worried giving the Styles Clash to Shane McMahon. Because number one of who he is, you don't want to mess this one up.
Well, it's not for him to mess up, though. It's the person receiving it, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. And Shane McMahon is not. You know, you've got to tilt your head back. I know, but again, I just immediately thought of that when the match came up. I thought, goodness me, AJ Styles doesn't want to give him a Styles Clash. Go for the phenomenal forearm or something else, please. But I think it will be good. I'm excited to see it. Again, it might be one of those matches that steals the show, depending on what spots they've worked out together. So it just, to me, I heard on a podcast, Shawn Michaels confirmed that he was offered the match. And this was a long time ago with AJ Styles, and Shawn Michaels turned it down. And then obviously they didn't have anything for AJ Styles, and this is why I said it's disappointing, because that, you know, they must have planned for that Shawn Michaels match. It never came, and then they just didn't know what to do with him. That's
a big disappointment here in that. It's one of the matches that I would love to see. It's a proper dream match.
Yeah,
so
Shawn, I think Shawn said that he just, you know, well, you can imagine Shawn would have to have trained very hard to get in that match, particularly with someone of AJ Styles, and he declined it. But then it worries me that's what they put. You know, they looked towards that, and they didn't think about the long term, and now they left AJ with Shane.
See, I can understand it. I think it's the same reason that, you know, Austin says that he would like to have one more go, but it's the whole training to get into ring shape. It's not as easy, especially at that age.
Yeah,
I can definitely understand it, but it's just a shame, like, knowing that was on the cards, and now we've got Shane McMahon instead. It's just what could have been, but I guess you've got to concentrate on what is. And like I say, I still think it is going to be a great match. It's just I don't really know what they're going to do. Shane's already done his signature
the elbow
drop through the table, so it's like, even if he pulls that out, it's not going to be anything special. We're just going to have to wait and see what they've got planned. But I'm sure there'll be something that goes down. Even if it's just AJ attacking Shane before he gets to the ring, and they do some sort of crazy thing before the match or after the match. I don't think it's going to be set in stone that it is just literally going to be a wrestling match.
Well, the one thing that it could lead to, which will be interesting, is AJ Styles moving to Raw, because it could be, you know, if AJ was to lose to Shane McMahon, he's never going to live that down. So the only real option that he's got is to, you know, jump ship and go to the other brand.
I think that is a possibility. There's been a lot of rumours that you will switch.
And he's got a red T-shirt.
It could be. Maybe just because you picked up on that, that's what they're going with. But there has been rumours for a while that he was going to switch over to Raw. And when you think about it, he's done a lot on SmackDown. He's done pretty much all there is. And if they're going to go with Wyatt and Orton and people, maybe it is time for AJ to go to Raw. And he can only improve Raw. Raw's been pretty bad, in my opinion. Especially with like the Goldberg and Lesnar stuff, where the title hasn't even been there. So I would much prefer to see like an AJ there. Even AJ going up against whoever wins that match, Lesnar or Goldberg. As long as it's not a squash match, I'd be interested in seeing it.
Well, it'd be really good, wouldn't it? If Lesnar takes the title and then AJ says, well, I'm off now, regardless if he wins or loses against Shane McMahon, he can say, if he beats Shane, I've got nothing else to prove here, I'm going to Raw. Or if he loses, you know, he doesn't want to be on SmackDown anymore and see that every week. He goes to Raw again. Either way, it could work out into a really good setup for him challenging for the championship over on Monday Night Raw. The only disappointment for me is if he does go there, because, like you say, it's a mediocre product. He can only improve it. But on the other hand, I don't want them to detriment SmackDown Live, because I really like what SmackDown has. So
Yeah.
I would like to see AJ Styles win this match, because I feel he deserves it. 100%.
No, I totally agree with you.
I think he's had the best year. I think he's been one of the most entertaining. The way he's been a heel has been perfect. He's had to put up with things like Ellsworth. That to me, Ellsworth. The way he did the Ellsworth story was brilliant. So, I honestly think that AJ deserves his moment, and it's just a shame, really, that they took the belt off him, and now he's got his moment with Shane.
No, I totally agree with that. I think, that's probably the best thing about AJ. Everything he's done has been top of the range. There's nothing else that he can do on SmackDown. He's done a lot, so it's about time that he jumps to Raw.
So you going for an AJ Styles victory then, I guess?
I think so. I think I'm going to go AJ Styles and then switch over to Raw.
Yes, but no for me, because like I say, I don't want to see SmackDown Live get detrimented by. But there's going to be tons of changes on Raw after WrestleMania, because we're likely to get a new general manager, whoever that will be. So it's going to be a lot going on.
You got any thoughts on it? Who's it going to be? Bischoff?
I would love Bischoff. I think it's better than Kurt Angle for the purpose of the who is actually in charge. You have a heel in charge, Stephanie McMahon. I don't want to see the authority thing, and it keep edging towards that. It's going to be that again, and I don't want that. What better person to have alongside her, who's just as irritating as such than good old Eazy-E. And the best bit about Bischoff, and the thing with Bischoff, is that she can try and boss him, but he can boss her back, because that's the sort of arrogance that he's got. He's got that chip on his shoulder. And I think that's what they need. On there, they need a heel GM to match her. You can't have a face keep battling her, because it doesn't work. She just overpowers him. Look at what she did with Mick Foley. It was kind of rubbish in the end. Mick was such a weak GM, but it was all because of the bad booking.
Well, it was the booking wasn't really great at all, and I think for me it was a case of whatever happened with Foley, he was always going to be there short term. He wasn't going to be sticking around, because we had all that news coming out saying that he had loads of problems with his knee and he needed surgery. So I was kind of waiting for this. I've been waiting for it for a couple of months now. So when it got around the whole fired point, I kind of knew it was on the cards. But I think it's a good thing in a way. I'm looking forward to that bigger personality, like you say. And I think someone like a Bischoff would definitely fit that role.
Yeah, now he's back in the fold. I just really want Bischoff to be the guy. So
was he in Access today? I'm sure I've seen pictures of him.
He was. The best bit about Bischoff is if he's not got creative control, he's just a good on-screen character. That's what you want. You don't want him with control. You want him as a character. Because when he's a character, he's gold.
Well, I think him and Steph will work really well together as well.
Yeah, so that to me, that would be perfect. So that's my view on that. And it kind of leads us nicely into the next match, because the next match involves an authoritative figure in Triple H, and it's Triple H versus Seth Rollins in a non-sanctioned match. And everybody seems to be very excited about this one. A lot of people saying that this is the one that they feel will steal the show. And I think it'll be good. I wouldn't say that this is my pick of the night. I think it will be good. I like the long-term build. We've always had that worry that potentially Seth wasn't going to make it, but he is now. And Triple H has sold this again, showing exactly why he is the King of Kings, because Triple H cuts, much like I praised Cena earlier, immense promos to build his match. And he's done it again with this one. Him and Rollins work well together, and this has been a long time coming. And that's nice to see that they've played the long-term story. We've got to a point, and the pinnacle of it is on the biggest night, which is WrestleMania, and they have actually got this match. I wouldn't be surprised if Samoa Joe interferes. I think Rollins should win, but we're talking about Triple H here.
Well, that's the thing. it's taken so long to actually get to this point. Like, a lot of the things in WWE are thrown together like really quickly, and they don't seem to be thought through. This is completely opposite. They have taken so long to put this together, and it's one of them ones where it only works out better because of it, because people have the time to actually get invested. And obviously, Seth being the huge babyface that he is now, then everyone is behind it. They're all looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to it. It's like a match that, unlike the other ones, it does have that stipulation as well, where anything can happen. And with the arena, if they go around the arena, I would love to see that. But I just worry for Seth that he's doing too much too quick, because he's kind of rushed himself back to this after having that surgery last year, missing WrestleMania and not wanting to miss it again. So my only worry is that Seth's kind of pushing himself, and with this kind of match type, maybe it is a little bit dangerous for him. But I think being in there with Triple H, he's someone that, will know the kind of limits what he can go through, and I don't think they'd push him through it if they didn't think he could actually do it.
No, I think you're right. I think the danger is more Seth Rollins to himself, because he doesn't have to take the unnecessary bumps. And when I say that, I mean he doesn't have to do the high flying. If he doesn't do that, yeah. But if he doesn't do that, he this match can still be good. He doesn't have to go there, but I see he probably will, because he wants to pull out all the stops. He missed it last year, and I think it will be a very good match. When I said it's not my pick of the night, I think that's because I do get a little bit tired of Seth Rollins' marks. It's everything with him, and I sometimes think it's not always everything with him. I really like Rollins, don't get me wrong, but that's one of my little things that Pet hates as such. But I think that the way that they've built this over the period of time, it's been great. It has a great story because of the fact that he left, and he covered this. He left it all. He left his friends, the Shield. He didn't want to, be associated with anyone, and it was all because Triple H. And he hates the day that he met him because it changed him as a person. I think that was really good that they made that clear. That's exactly what Triple H does. He manipulates you. He gets in your head. Brilliant storytelling. And
I like the fact they've done that as well, just for the fact that it shows the reason behind this.
Yes.
It potentially opens it up that he is willing to work with Roman and Ambrose again and reunite the Shield at some point. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, not with Roman seemingly going more of a heel. I don't think it'd fit in as well, but it definitely leads to that possibility and gives that reason as, it was all down to Triple H. That was the whole reason he turned on them. Yeah,
it's been excellently done and executed well, and I think that Triple H has probably had a massive hand in that. So as far as the build's gone, this has had a great build, and I think you'll get a good payoff in the match. Like I said, it's not going to be my. It probably will steal the show, but I love Triple H, and a lot of people, always like to knock Triple H and say, oh, he's not the greatest wrestler, but let's be honest. When Triple H is in a match, it always feels like a big match. This doesn't matter where it is on the card. The minute you hear the game's music and he comes out, you know that it's going to go off. And that's why it's awesome.
I'm just looking forward to his entrance after what we witnessed last year with Stephanie.
Always good. It's going to be amazing, isn't it? He's going to have... what is he going to have? He'll have the crown. He'll have... I don't know.
Crown.
He might come on the roller coaster.
He might surely someone at New Day's got to do that, haven't they?
I don't know. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be really good, and this will be a good match. And like I say, the Sledgehammer will definitely be involved, and this will be the match that everyone will be looking forward to in the aspect of that, because they're going to get to see weapons and things that really have been quite limited from this WrestleMania. There's not a lot of hardcoreness going on, and this is the match they're going to get it.
Yeah, there's not really anything like that. That's why I was so glad when they brought in the tag team ladder match. Because, let's face it, 6 hours, is it, WrestleMania?
It's a big one.
Yeah. You just want some different kinds to kind of break it up. You don't want to be set there like 5 a.m. in the morning when I think it ends, still watching regular matches. You need something in between.
Yeah, so... Who are you going for? Because I would say that Rollins should win, but it is Triple H. So I'm not going to doubt it. I'm going to go with the King of Kings,
Ooh.
Triple H.
Can't
go against God.
No, God, he's only the king.
No, he's also the God. He is everything.
Well, I'm going to christen this guy the God Slayer in that case. Then I'm going to go with Seth Rollins on this. I think he's been waiting. He missed out last year. I think it's time to give him something for putting himself all through the rehab twice and getting back in time for this. I think Triple H will take a loss at Mania.
That would make sense, but he is the creator, so when you're the creator, you can do what you like, and that's what Triple H does. So we will see. So we're split on that one. So now
will Rollins win with a pedigree though? Do you reckon?
I would like to see whatever comes out of this, that pedigree that he does.
Or do you think he'll break out the curb stomp?
I would like to see that. Oh yes, I would like to see the curb stomp. We're not. We've said about it being technically classed. It's definitely not when you compare it to other moves. A dangerous move, but dangerous moves can be wheeled out from time to time. We have seen certain moves be pulled out when necessary.
Well, look at Triple H and Taker. Was it the Hell in a Cell match they had where they broke out the chair and they were taking chair shots to the head?
Well, that's what I mean. When there's a chance to do it, it's on the network. It's going to be, pay-per-view. You're going to have to buy it if you want it. So it's not like it's on regular. It's not on a certain network where they can't show certain things. So I feel that this could be the opportunity for them to do it. And it would be good to do that because I feel that the pedigree that Seth Rollins has is weak. I don't think Triple H is going to lose to his own finishing move. Don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think it is one of them ones where we'll probably see it. But I can see Rollins going for the pedigree quite a lot and Triple H managing to reverse it because it's his move. He knows it inside out. I think that'll be the way that they kind of play it to the point that maybe Rollins does hit it, Triple H kicks out, and then he needs something else. And I think that's when you then bring back the curb stomp. And
that would be the best way to end the match.
It's also the move that won him his last WrestleMania match.
Yeah. So I think that's the way to do it, and I reckon a lot of people out there will agree.
I think so. I think a lot of people would like to see that.
So, with that being the case, let's talk. We got 3 to go. This is a huge card. It's so big.
It's a huge card.
It really is.
We're going to be going for hours. It belongs to WrestleMania,
this. Let's talk about it. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Will The Undertaker suffer his second defeat at a WrestleMania at the hands of the Big Dog? Will the Big Dog hunt down The Undertaker and cost him another match at WrestleMania? You and retire The Undertaker?
Ooh, I don't know about retire. He said he's going to put the Big Dog down for good. So he's hinting at it, but I don't know. I definitely see him win this. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind Roman Reigns is going to win this.
Damn, I don't. Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to do it. Whether I want to see that, I'm not sure. I mean, I was pretty traumatized by the fact that they took the streak away from him, but I've learned to see reason for that because it is the one and it was Brock Lesnar. Nowadays I begin to sometimes question it a little bit with the way that Brock gets beaten by Goldberg so easily. Yeah. So I can't kind of go back on what I thought at the time. But if Roman beats him, I mean, geez, I mean that arena could turn.
I'm looking forward to it though. Yeah,
a little bit. It's like he's like you're it is a bit like a dirty secret that you kind of want to see it just to see how it really does kick off if that happens, But that's, do you want to know what? Out of all of this card, I'm going to say that this to me, everyone says that Rollins and Triple H is the one. This to me is the most exciting match on the card because you can feel that could happen, but also you kind of don't want it to, but you'd be interested to see if it does. And that's what makes this so exciting. So when people hate on Roman Reigns and they say, "Oh, I hate that Roman is, what Roman Reigns stands for," yeah, but and it's much like the John Cena effect. But you know that when Roman Reigns is in a spot like this, you're going to be watching it, whether you're going to hate on him, whether you're going to love that he wins, whether you're going to complain that he wins, you're going to have a reaction to it, and that is what WWE thrives on, that reaction. And this match has it all in it.
It does though. That's the thing. Like, yeah. It's like you say. Like on the surface, I think everyone likes to hate Reigns. Like
I kind of like him. I like him these days. I like him. He's chilled, man. He's like he knows he's the man. He knows he's going to beat people. The only difference here is that he's facing a man that's only ever lost once at WrestleMania. But that don't really bother the big dog, does it? Because the big dog's going to hunt you down whether he feels that way or not. And that's what I quite like about Roman these days. Roman's just there to kind of kick ass and take names. But occasionally, he's going to come unstuck. And maybe this is the night. But on the other hand, this could be the night that he really does, become the Roman Empire. Because beating The Undertaker and becoming the second guy to beat him, oh my God, that puts him, out there with the biggest, baddest heels ever.
It cements him once he does that. That's his legacy defined.
And if they wanted to turn him, that's your night, because I'll be honest with you, do not, if he beats him, do not shake hands with The Undertaker. That would be the icing on the cake. Yeah. If The Taker sits up and he's like bitter and wants to shake his hand, Reigns should just be like, nah, and walk away, because it would be so good as a heel turn. It would be. I'm excited about it just talking about it. That's bad for me. If Taker
sits up, Reigns just wants to kick him back down. He said he's going to put the big dog down for good.
Him again.
That's what he needs to do.
If he sits up, he spears him. It'd be even better after the match if he sits up, he spears him again. I mean, I love The Undertaker. I would like to see The Undertaker win, but I have, like I said to you, it's that other side of me, that kind of like that Harvey Two-Face. It's like, I just want to see Roman maybe win it just to see what goes off.
See, I don't know what I prefer more. What I like more, Roman Reigns or, the crowd reaction to Roman Reigns. I think that's what I prefer. Like seeing everyone, swimming in all of this hate. It's just so. Oh, it's so good to see. I really enjoy it now.
You can't really discredit Reigns in the ring. He isn't that bad in the ring. Like, if somebody says, oh, he's a bad wrestler, what's bad about him? He can put on decent matches. He does put on decent matches. The people just hate him because he was the chosen one from Vince and he's tried to ram it down our throats a lot. That's it. That's as simple as what started it. I mean, like I say, in the Shield, he never got this much hate. It's just now. It's just because they... But ultimately, that's why it makes him the most interesting man at WrestleMania. Because you know that he could do this. And I mean, you kind of think that Cena... Like, for me, again, the booking, I would have probably gone with Cena Taker. But again, that would have been... Cena could do this. Reigns most likely will do this.
Yeah, I would say Cena wouldn't. I think Reigns is in that position now where he's the guy that would, which is strange to say.
It's good.
But with you questioning whether this could be the last and he'd retire Undertaker, that would mean we wouldn't get John Cena and Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I honestly thought that this was the year they should have done it. They could have had The Undertaker win the Rumble. It was all there. It was all on the plate for them, and they optioned not to do it. I mean, so I don't think that will happen now. I don't think it will, but it certainly won't if Reigns beats him. And what that does to the streak, can you imagine these hardcore Taker fans? I mean, I'm still amazed that they did that with the way that they've portrayed the Goldberg-Lesnar bit, but holy hell, it's going to be crazy.
Well, I would be surprised if the plan for this isn't Roman Reigns defeating Undertaker, going on to make a big point about him and Brock Lesnar being the only two to defeat him, and then having Brock Lesnar win the title, and this kind of sets up like the two of them to square off if Goldberg does actually walk away. But then it also brings up the point of that you could then fit the Undertaker back into it. Maybe work a triple threat with the two of them. Do Roman Reigns Undertaker again next year for the title, and give Undertaker a big send off.
Well, if you remember, WrestleMania 31 was Reigns and Lesnar, wasn't it? And it was a good match. It was really good. So it's a decent setup for a feud because it was good. I mean, some of it with Heyman pandering to Reigns was a bit weak, but the match was good. The match was good. So
I think, regardless, yes, people are going to be fuming once the event is over and the results there. But I think you've got to look at it long term and see how it plays out before you really decide on it and whether it's the right thing to do.
But that's what I'm saying. It's the most exciting match on the card because a lot depends on it. It's the one, and
Big thrill ride.
I'm gonna stay loyal. I'm gonna go Undertaker, but damn, we'll see what happens.
Hang on, you're gonna go Undertaker when you've just said you kind of agreed with everything about Roman Reigns?
I'm going with my heart and not with my mind.
Oh, so you don't want Adam for Neville?
Yes, I'll regret it, but yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna go Roman Reigns.
Ooh,
I think it's got to be, hasn't it?
You're getting booed all the way out of the We Talk studio right now. Boo.
Nothing new.
So let's talk about, what we've just mentioned, Brock, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar. There's not a lot to really say on this match. It's been set for a while. We knew this was coming. Whether we really thought it would be for the championship, it's a bit of a surprise. Goldberg picking up the belt was strange enough as it is, but it's there, and I kind of see it. It's WrestleMania. You've got to have the big names on the card, and people will say, well, no. We should go with, Kevin Owens or someone like that. But they're trying to sell to the wider audience, and Goldberg's a name that the old school remember, and Brock Lesnar, everybody knows who Brock Lesnar is, so it draws. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to sell. So it is what it is. And this is an intriguing match because how does it go? I honestly believe this is the night that Lesnar finally does conquer Goldberg, and then that'll be the end of Goldberg. But how he does it is going to be interesting because he has been made to look so weak, so incredibly weak that
he's got nothing, has he? Out of this entire thing, even Raw, I thought that might have been the bit where we usually get a bit of hope for the challenger.
Destroyed.
It was kind of made a big thing. The end of Raw, how was it going to come down? The final confrontation, and again, it was one spear, and that was it.
But that's the thing. You can't see him standing there and going face to face with him, because if he does that, Goldberg will beat him. So he's going to have to come up with something else. And I think they've kind of underplayed this, because they should have shown Lesnar training for this match. They should have done a lot of behind the scenes looking at Brock getting there mentally for this match, because he should be classed as mentally broken for this match, because he should be thinking, I can't beat him. That's it.
I think they had to do something along their lines. There's got to be a reason that this is going to be different to all the other ones, especially with how easy it has been for Goldberg. All I could say is maybe some sort of pre-match attack, something like that.
That's what I was thinking. Or he goes for the spear early and he dodges it and he goes shoulder first into the ring post, and then that's the mistake that they were waiting for, because they know that he would like to start quick and put him away, and that opens the door for him. So I could see that being a kind of a way around it. But I without a question around this match at all, it's Lesnar's winning this. He's definitely winning this. If he doesn't, I will be shocked.
It's 3 victories now for Goldberg.
It just, you can't see it happening again.
No, I think it's been strange that they have done it this one-sided, but at the same time, I say credit to Brock for actually agreeing to do this. He must know there's something big coming out of it.
Oh, for Brock, it's easy money, isn't it? He gets a spear and he's off for the night.
Well, he'll be happy. It's better than his title run. He doesn't have to stick around, or
I think that Brock will get the win, and it will be bigger things for Brock. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people say that they're tired of the part-timers, and I kind of can agree on that. But then I still quite like Lesnar. He's a, I still go back to that prize fighter thing. I think if he was paired up with somebody like an AJ Styles coming over, or we get the Reigns feud after he beats the Undertaker, I mean, it could be really interesting. So
I heard a rumor that because obviously the UFC thing, it's out the window now. He's not going back there. I heard that I don't know if they have tied him down to it or if it's on the cards, but they want him to work more dates now because he doesn't have to go out training for UFC. He's not going to have that where it takes him away from it.
He's banned, isn't he? So
he's banned, so he's retired officially from UFC now. So he's there to commit to WWE, and if that's who's paying him, then if they set the dates, he doesn't have another option. He's kind of backed into a corner that he's going to have to go with that.
Well, I've seen them use so many of his appearances on house shows, then I just think that they don't make the most of him. So they could easily make more of him, and so make him champion and build him and put him out there more. Good. Have him wrestle on Raw.
I think they will. I think next few months we'll probably see him a lot more. The only thing I would question, going back to The Undertaker, he said he was going to stick around as well now.
Yeah.
And yet that could be a strange one where he walks away. So I'd like to see him and Brock also staying around more in the coming months.
Let's be honest, everything's strange because The Undertaker rocked up on SmackDown and said he wanted to be the guy of SmackDown, and he never did anything on it. So
yeah, let's forget about that appearance. He's old, maybe he was confused, he turned up the wrong show.
So I'm going Lesnar. I think you're agreeing.
Yeah, it's got to be Lesnar.
And that brings us... I've just got to check here.
Your dreams are coming true here. You've even saved them to main event We Talk.
I know.
You've planned this.
Bray Wyatt has done it. I mean, I booked it all the way through Saturday Night Main Event to get him to the promised land, and WWE finally, as The Rock would say, saw the light and gave Bray Wyatt the championship. And now I fear that he's going to lose it. But nevertheless, he is now in a position which is very good. I will be honest, I'm not quite sure how we got to this. It all, to me, I like the Randy Orton storyline. It all is a bit strange to me still, how it all came about, but it did.
It just changed so quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, did they have to go down the route that Randy Orton would win the Royal Rumble? Could they not have had Bray Wyatt win it and do the turn the other way? Did Randy Orton have to then forfeit his Royal Rumble victory only to get it back? And it was all a bit bizarre, but we got there. And we will probably get a good payoff for it. The mind games, how the mind games are going to work in this match, I don't know if there will be any. But the way that they've been trying to do it over the last few weeks on SmackDown certainly leads you to believe that there will be some sort of craziness going on. And if this is if this just does become the headline match, I don't know if it will.
I've been told Goldberg and Lesnar's going to headline it.
Right. Well, yeah, I think that probably makes more sense because this would be a strange way to finish because I see some sort of craziness going on and maybe Luke Harper being involved. So, yeah. But nevertheless, Bray gets his moment to shine, but I feel it will come to an end courtesy of an RKO.
I think this is a really hard one because you've finally built up Bray Wyatt. He's finally there. Main event of WrestleMania. All your dreams and his are coming true. And then he goes up against the RKO. So it's hard to see him overcoming this. And I think because Orton's played the sort of waiting game, got inside the head of Wyatt, strung out all this, it kind of makes sense to have him then, get that victory and end it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think that's going to happen. I just do. I think it will happen, and it will continue. I think the feud will continue with Bray and Randy. I think it's got a lot of long-term aspects to it because Luke Harper's never really, Luke Harper's kind of missing from all of this. What about Eric Rowan? What about the family? Does it come back together? He burnt Sister Abigail down to the ground, but now Bray saying, well, it's installed in him, and there's so much more that can come out of this. And I think maybe the title going to Randy, then Bray chasing the title, maybe making the family stronger by assembling it more around him, and then they take Randy back out again and he gets the belt back. Nevertheless, it makes it a good feud. So I think it's going to be very good.
I think it will be. And like you say, there's probably going to be a rematch because we usually get, is it Extreme Rules or something that comes up shortly after WrestleMania? And it's usually like a rematch. There's one or two in there that rematch the WrestleMania matches. So I could definitely see that. I can see Luke Harper getting put in there as well. Some kind of triple threat.
And Extreme Rules seems the sort of pay-per-view that would make sense for these two.
Yeah, it definitely does because anything could happen with them.
So I'm going to go with Randy Orton taking the belt on the night.
You're going against your boy.
I'm going to go against him. I'm going against Bray, but with a mindset that Bray will get that championship back, only to make this feud better. I'm
going to go for Bray Wyatt, just so
good.
If he does win it, I can say, I went for Bray Wyatt. You went against him. How could you?
Well, either way, we're both going to be live tweeting during WrestleMania, I'm sure. And
absolutely,
there's going to be tons of reactions to it. So, this has been a really good way to have a We Talk, to really get this out there. And this has been a long We Talk, and many of you have asked for us to do a We Talk. So now you got it. Now you got all of this to listen to.
God, please the fans. Give them what they want. Let's hope Vince does the same.
You know that ain't going to happen. But
I can hope.
But we want you to get involved in the comment section and let us know your predictions, your thoughts, what your favourite matches are going to be at WrestleMania. Get involved and we will interact with you in the comments. We'll interact with you on the night at WrestleMania. So much to talk about. And I think what we want to say as well, to kind of bring this WrestleMania 33 We Talk to a close, is thanks to everyone who has, tweeted and said, where's a We Talk episode? Where we want to listen to a bit of We Talk, enjoyed the podcast, because, I think from me speaking for Paul as well, we really appreciate that. And that it means a lot. So thank you. And we thought it would be nice that this would be a bit of a cool surprise to drop this because you guys blatantly didn't know about it.
Well, that's the thing. It's cool when you see people tweeting you, asking, where is it? When's the next one? Like, how can I listen to it? And the fact that we didn't mention that we're going to do it, I think it's a nice surprise. And it's a big thank you for all that support.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody. And enjoy the roller coaster ride that is WrestleMania 33. We will. And let's all load those Superman punches because Roman is going over.
Yes, no doubt about it. He's got to.
Best way to end this podcast would be to play the Roman Reigns theme, but I don't want to get done for copyright. So just imagine it in your heads, all right? So from me, this is the end of a We Talk. And Paul, what better way for you? You can sign out.
Till next time. Catch you later.
Yes. Catch you all later. Enjoy WrestleMania.